seminar, I would like to thank the sponsors which make this seminar live, one by one. And especially Khalid, Sheikh, because yesterday he stayed all the day with me, like 12 hours or something. So I would like to thank you very much. Then I start by the sponsors. His name is Sayed Stad. Thank you for making this style. Lotus Arabians, he's not with us, but Mr. Tarek Assad is one of the sponsors. Muhammad Wali, the Wali Arabians, thank you. And then Sika, Adel Sika, he's coming, but we'd like to thank him. And Mr. Fabio Tucharawi, thank you for covering this event. Mr. Islam Kurtam, owner of Sahara Stud, so we'd like to thank him again for being with us. Also Muhammad Medhat Gaber for Nosco Company, so we are coming to thank him. And lately we are hosted by Medicine local embassy. So I will give the microphone for Claudia, and she can tell us more.
Yes, so finally also a good morning from my side, and I'm very, very happy to be here for this seminar, and I really have to thank Medhat for having me with HORSMUNITY and supported by all these sponsors he named before. I think we will have a fantastic 2 days in front of us, and I hope we can fulfill your expectations for this seminar, which was created to give an access for all of you as breeders, and first of all to get some tools to evaluate your horses, not in a judging situation like in a showground, because this is a different thing, but to have an opportunity for yourself as a breeder to evaluate your horses for your breeding program, to select horses, to get to know your horse. I think it's a very important thing, and it's not easy. So it requires not only experience, it requires knowledge, and most of all, many things are done by intuition. So, and in the end, you deserve also a little bit of luck. So this is how breeding works, and I hope we will have a good day today. So if you check, this booklet is prepared for you, and everybody should have it on the table right now. You will find the timetable, and we start a little bit later, but this is no problem. We are open also to be a little bit longer here with you. I'm here. So in case you are strong enough for an additional hour and the timetable will fit with the facility, we can stay also a little bit longer for discussion and everything you need. So today, first of all, I would like to know you a little bit better. So I would like to know who I'm talking to, because I think this kind of seminar is very important to be interactive. So I don't want to sit here and hold my lectures and just talk and talk and talk. I want it arrives, and I also want that it fulfills what you expect. So I would like also to know what are your needs and what are your questions. I prepared for you some lectures. I usually also do in judges seminars, which I do a lot lately. So to create a new judges pool, as we need new judges, we need new blood, we need new people, and this is more on evaluation the people. This we don't want. But I prepared some lectures on type and conformation for you, which is a basic tool to evaluate horses. Then I have also a short lecture about movements, especially. And if we have time, and if you would like, I have also a short presentation about judging systems and judging procedures. So this is what actually is going on the showground. I don't know if this will fit your needs, then you tell me, I'm ready. For those of you who want maybe in future become himself or herself a judge, I I can also let you know how this works. So there is also a short information on this if you like. So after all of this, we will have for sure your prayer break on midday from 12 to 1:30, this for sure. After we meet again, we continue the lectures. We continue the lectures started, and then we have an open discussion. So just question and answering, but I would like to ask you also during the lectures, just interrupt me. If you want to know something further, just ask and don't hesitate just to interrupt me. I'm very easy, so just fire your questions on me, I am ready. Good. So in this booklet, it's not the content of my lectures. What we prepared for you is additional material. This is on top of what we will talk about today. So there is no need to read during the lecture in this booklet, because it will not help you. There are different things. So you will find a short summary about horse anatomy. So I will skip this in the lecture, so we are not vets and we don't need to know the details, but it's for your information. And then you will find a very, very important issue. It's a summary of Peter Upton's book. This is kind of called the Holy Quran for the Arabian horse enthusiasts. So Peter Upton is an important judge. He was one of my teachers, and he is an important artist, and all the drawings you find in this summary are done by himself. So this man is really an icon for all of us in the judges scene, and you will find a summary which is done in Australia. So you have the most important summary of his book in this booklet also, for your information. So when you look further, you will find something I found very interesting for you, because it helped me also in the beginning a lot. You will find summary on Arabian conformation from the United States. It's a little bit contrary to the one you find from Australia, but you can find a catalog of major faults, minor faults in the Arabian horses, also to evaluate a little bit better. If it comes to breeding, it is most important to feature also the most important features of the Arabian horse, and one of them is the croup. The croup is so different in Arabian horses than in all other breeds. And there is a very old article in this booklet. It's called The Case of the Croup, which I find also very interesting, and where you can find details on the Arabian triangle. And I like to add it to you for your information. I found it, and read it, it's very interesting. But we don't need it today. Breeding Arabian horses is, as I told you, a very difficult task. So there are many, many breeding meets which are going on. People are passing on these kind of meets, like nicks in Arabian horse breeding, stallion, mares, bloodlines, champions. You'll find this in questioning breeding meets. And it reflects a little bit these meets on genetics. So how founded is it? So how much base, how much truth is in these breeding meets? So interesting, and I recommend it for all of you to read. On top, a thing which is neglected by many breeders are genetic disorders. You all know the CA, CID, and also the lavender foal syndrome, which is most common in the Egyptian horses. So we don't find it in other bloodlines so much like in the Egyptians. So a recommendation for you to test your horses, to avoid these genetic disorders, but we can talk also later about it if you like. It's just a short information where you find the test kits, what is important for you to recognize these disorders also in your horses. And a short introduction about coat color genetics. How color is transmitted, from genetically from parents to the foal. For those of you who like to breed on color, so this might be also a very interesting study. Most of all, also for me, if you're breeding a lot of gray horses and you start to lose pigmentation. This can be very important also for you, especially also in the Egyptian lines, which is most common also in these lines. Okay, I'm ready to start. Any questions on the time schedule so far? Tomorrow we will move to Sayadstad. I was very glad yesterday to visit the farm and select some horses for the day tomorrow. So tomorrow it will be all on practical judging for all of you. So I'm looking forward to it because the real job of evaluating is not the theoretical. So it was most important for me to have a lot of horse material, and this is not meant in a negative way if I say material. I appreciate every creature, but it is horse material we judge, and I think it's very good if you get practice on the horse to see little details which you know practically, but I think it's good to understand when you're judging and you have only very, very few and restricted time in a show ring to judge your horse. It's just about 2 minutes max for each horse. So evaluation has to be done very quick, and of course it's superficial in the end. You can only judge what you have in front of you during the show, but you as breeders, you have the opportunity to see your horse at home, or if you're going to buy a horse, you go there and you examine it in more detail. You have the opportunity to study it, to really take your time and to understand about the quality of this horse. And this I want to transmit to you what is the best way, the best approach for you to evaluate your horse. And we are always not talking about perfection, because perfection does not exist. I have never seen a perfect horse in all my life, and I have seen many on all 5 continents. So I have never seen a perfect horse, but our goal as a breeder is to reach, to come close, very, very close to perfection. And that's a long way, believe me, a very long way. But this is what we all have in mind, and this is our common passion. It's not only to live daily with the horse, to experience the horse, to have the horse at home, to have the joy, but also as a breeder you want to create something. You have a vision, you have a target, and you're following this. And you need tools to arrive to your target. This can be a long way, you can be fortunate, you can be lucky, but a real breeding program lasts long, and you need patience. And I know this is very difficult to have the patience to reach that. Okay, ready to start? Yeah. So, let's start with type 1 conformation. And the Arabian horse, as you all know, is a piece of art. It's a piece of art. It's a very different breed than all the others. And in my education, I had the pleasure to grow up with the Arabian horse also. But I started as a rider myself, so I was one of the girls in Germany. It's a big tradition, riding, and all the girls go to riding schools. We have warm bloods on a very high level in dressage and also jumping. So all the girls are going in these stables, they start to ride. But I have to say that I was very early already dissatisfied with this, because first of all, the horses are kind of machines, so they are sport items. So they are used as a sport item, and they are not really the individuals they deserve. But I was lucky, I got to know a stable close to this riding stable. They had Arabian horses. I was very lucky. So my father brought me there, and I started to groom the horses, to be every day there, and I experienced the special character and the special beauty of the Arabian horse and was attracted, and that's how it all started. So the rest you know, you can read it in my agenda. My father was so kind to buy me a mare which was in foal with a baby. So my mother didn't talk with him for a week. You can imagine, because she knew already what was going on and how it would end probably. So that is how all the disaster started. And here we are, and I think all of you have a certain history, all of yourself, how you came to the Arabian horse, and I would probably like to know a little bit, just short in 2 or 3 sentences from each of you, who you are, and what is your relation to the Arabian horse, and what is maybe your goal. That would help me a lot to know you a little bit better.